Well, let me ask you guys the obvious question. If this was really happening, if the world was really ending, do you think you guys would act like your characters in the movie, basically say, fuck it and let's have a party?
I would probably, if the world was really ending, I would probably run out and go see Seeking a Friend.
As many times as I could.
But I would do it high on heroin, yes.
Yeah, high on heroin would be the way to do it, I think, yeah. Yeah, it's the only way to see the movie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes it better.
It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Well, they're giving it out at the screenings, so
Yeah.
don't worry about that.
That's nice, yeah. Instead of cotton candy. That's good. Yeah. Well,
the usual cotton candy.
The usual cotton candy. Is it like little
movie theater cotton candy?
Yep.
Well, you know, both of your roles are kind of small in the film. What was it about the script or the project when you read it that you were like, well, you know what, I got to make a day that I can do this, that I want to be a part of this movie?
I mean, it kept going. It kept surprising me every 5 pages. It would take these turns where you're like, I did not see it. And you never see it coming, but it's totally logical the whole time, which I really, really liked.
It's just very unfamiliar.
Yeah.
You've seen an apocalypse movie before, but the perspective is very unfamiliar, and that was really like, it was a great read. It was a fast read.
Humor and also sort of I mean, it's very poignant. It's very, you know, there's some great moments.
To me, it was the originality and the risk-taking first, and then, it also happens to be very, very funny. But, you know, we do a lot of movies, you more than me, that sometimes you do movies and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna try to be really good in this, but they're not really doing anything new. Right. But then every now and then you get these scripts where you're like, oh my God, they rolled the dice with this one. This is great, you know?
And this is definitely that. I mean, you know, especially with the cast and, you know, it's a potential has the potential to be a very popular, you know, well-received, I mean, big movie that a lot of people will see, but it's not, you know, it's kind of a head scratcher too. Like what did somebody call it? A noodle baker. It's a real noodle baker.
Oh, that's right. They said noodle baker.
I like that.
God.
Yeah.
Were we interviewed by like a milk farmer from the 1880s?
Time travel.
It's a real noodle baker, I tell you.
Yeah. I haven't heard that term.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about because both of your scenes are basically with Steve Carell. Was there a lot of improvisation? Were you guys just going straight off script, or?
Not really. And I got to tell you, Steve Carell is really fun to work with because if you notice in my scene, he's basically just trying not to react to me because he's so disgusted by me because I'm such a horrible person. So there's nothing funnier than watching Steve Carell trying to politely tolerate someone. So he is so funny not talking in the scene. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's the same in my scene. He's trying to tolerate myself and Connie's character, who are coming at him with 2 different things he's not interested in. The least bit. So it's like, it's very, it's fun.
Can you talk a little bit about the relationship that your character and Connie's character have, the husband and wife, because it's very funny and it's like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you think that would kind of happen if you were in that situation?
Not with me, but you know what? Because I love my wife, and we have a fantastic. No, but it's that thing. Like 2 days ago, he realized that his whole life was bullshit, and he hated his wife, and he was going to express that, because that is his truth. You know what I mean? So, boy, I don't know what would actually, but in the last few days, like what you would express as your truth. But yeah, his is not pretty.
Yeah.
I bet we ourselves don't even know what we would do if there were no consequences. We would all shock ourselves like, oh, I'm horrible.
Well,
I didn't know.
What the movie's about. It's about the world not having rules anymore, not having consequences.
That's why I say that I would become enlightened. The shackles of this world would fall from me.
Of humankind, you would
my
find
third
the light.
eye would open, and I would see the truth through the truth. And I would try and open the veil for people like you, too, but you don't listen.
I would burrow so deep into my own narcissism that I might pull people into it. There'd be a jet wash of my own narcissism that would pull people with them.
That's what I bet you would happen. The seemingly most shallow people in the world would go, oh my God, life is important.
Yeah, just brilliant.
And they'd float away.
And the Dalai Lama would just try to get laid.
Well, we'll end it on that. Dalai Lama getting laid.
Thanks,
guys.